Hello everyone and welcome back to the Chase Media channel. Today we're going to be flying the Boeing 7800 BBJ2. Today we're going to be flying a short flight from Brazil to our next destination, from Sierra Bravo Papa Alpha to Sierra Bravo Charlie Tango. So today we're going to be flying with the help of the Microsoft Flight Simulator ATC, and also we're going to be flying with the help with the FS2 crew assistant. We're going to be flying the current weather. Let's make sure that we have the current weather and real time also set. Real time live weather are enabled. So yes, before we begin, if you like this livery, you are more than welcome to download it in the description below. You're gonna have the link right there. With that being said, let's start setting up for a flight. So let's start setting up.
Roger.
Oh, that's nice. All right, so feels like home. All right, so first of all, we're gonna want the battery on. So let's set the battery on. Emergency lights are on and the parking brakes are set as well. Let's wait for the aircraft to initialize so we can continue setting up. Today we're going to be cruising about 24,000 feet. The weather seems to be nice here at the airport. Just gonna go ahead and load up the current flight plan to our tablet here. Yeah, so you know what? I'm not gonna even try to pronounce those airports. For me, it's better like to tell you Sierra Bravo Papa Alpha and Sierra Bravo Charlie Tango. So those are the airports that we're gonna be flying to, 4 and 2. For today's flight, we're going to be expecting a flight of 1 hour and 40 minutes flight with 44 passengers on board. Nothing too challenging. As you can see, this is our flight plan for today. Very well. So here we are, the aircraft initialized. Let's set the ground power to on. Oxygen tested 100% my side. Let's go. go on to the first officer side as well. So his side, oxygen test 100% as well. All right, so parking brakes are set. And see the lights. Mine are fine. Let's test all the lights and switches here. I see that my aircraft, no, that's okay. All right, everything is looking just fine. Let's go ahead, switch it off. And also let's test his lights here too. So they are also working as well. Now the next thing we want to do is go to the FMC and go ahead and request the fuel drive for today's flight. So for today's flight we're gonna be taking 100. I think it's set to, it's not set correctly on the flight plan.
I'm out for the walk around.
Or it is. It's actually is. Okay, so it's going to be 10 tons of fuel. 10,415. That's going to be the fuel we're going to be taking off with. And the nav data is out of date. We will update it later on, because it requires to restart the sim. Should have expected that could happen. Right, so he's out for the walk around, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my checks here. So configuration horn 1, 2 is okay. 1 is also working just fine, and both are working perfectly fine. Good, let's go ahead and jump onto FMC. All right, so we currently at the Sierra Bravo Papa Alpha, so let's enter that. Sierra Papa Bravo Alpha for our origin, or not. Sierra Bravo. What? SBPA. Okay. Very good. We're gonna go ahead and take a shortcut here. So we're gonna load the flight here onto the tablets, on both of those tablets actually, and then we're gonna get this nice option on the FMC, and we're gonna select fuel and select payload and select RT, request flight plan. Let's clear this message out. Sim block fuel is set, that's okay. Route uplink is ready, let's load it up. Route uplink is loading up. Okay, so we're gonna be expecting to depart from runway 11 via Narita 2 Alpha departure. So let's go ahead and activate our route. Okay, so 40 fuel weight, that's going to be 51.2. And
hi, security and safety check are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay, let's request the boarding. No, the crew's already on board, so there's no need for that. Okay, so for the reserve, that's going to be 2.1. The cost index for today's flight, that's going to be 15. And the planned fuel for our flight is going to be 10.5. The flight level for today's flight, that's going to be at 24,000 feet. So, and the average wind is going to be at 229 degrees at 4 knots, so not that windy at all. About temperature deviation, that's going to be a plus 13. For us. Just a second here. Okay, so plus 14 for the temperature deviation, that's going to be a minus 19 Celsius. Transition altitude will be 6,000 feet. And let's execute. All right, flaps. For our takeoff, we're going to be expecting flaps 5, and the CG will be 22.9 with a trim of 4.7. As for departure, that's we're going to be departing runway 11 via near at 2 Alpha departure with the transition to be Penso. So that's going to be the transition. Okay. As for our arrival, we're going to be expecting runway 15 for our arrival. And that's going to be direct to SBCT. Okay. It's quite weird. So we're going to continue figuring out those later on. So this is something going to be similar to our takeoff speeds, but we're going to go ahead and open the EFB here. Select runway, import from aircraft, import from weather. Let's hit calculate. Flaps 5 to. Okay, so. We're gonna be taking off via D-rated. Yeah, that's probably should be. All right, so let's go and make this easier on ourselves and open that via the server. Okay, so takeoff speeds are deleted, that's okay. So let's go back to the takeoff. So for our V1, that's going to be 133. V rotate will be at 135.
No issues on the walk around.
That's great, he's back. Okay, so for the V2, that's going to be 143. Flap's going to be 5, and the CG will be, and trim will be, yeah, okay, so that's correct. Very good. Let's go ahead and load up some charts on our iPad here. Ah, that's nice. Take a look at that. So Novigraph has put up a new update. Pretty awesome. Wow, that's gonna be very good for VATSIM flights, even though I'm not doing that much VATSIM, but that's perfect. You know what, we're gonna try this with our current flight because we're gonna be using the Microsoft ATC here, so probably be useful.
Glide slow. Pull up. Wind shear.
All right, So this is going to be our flight. The short flight. You know what, let's take a look and see how that's going to be working. So there's not much taxi here going on. Probably going to be using Alpha, so but you know what, let's see. We're going to draw this. It's that's not, they give you an option to draw all around the chart. Pretty neat, you know. Perfectly good. Awesome. So we're probably gonna be expecting an Alpha, and that's it. So there is the runway right there. Okay, going back to the cockpit and let's start setting up our FMC. So RV speeds, V2 is going to be 143 knots. Well, in case of an emergency, we're going to be returning to...
Hi, here's the fuel slip.
Thanks.
Welcome. Have a nice flight.
But in case of an emergency, we're going to be using an AVUR approach towards the runway 11. So final course that's going to be at 109 degrees. $109. Okay, heading. I'm gonna set the heading to the same, to 109 degrees in case we're gonna need to fly the round heading. So we're gonna be having this ready for us as well. Clearance, we're soon gonna get our clearance as well. So as I hear from the boarding is completed, but you know what? We are a private jet, so we can request the catering service to arrive right now. So let's do that. We don't care what service that's gonna be. So okay, so the course set on both sides. Flight directors are on. My side is master, his slide is slave. Autothrottle is armed. VNAV and LNAV are armed as well. Onto the radios. All right, so for our departure frequency, that's going to be 114.7 for the departure VUR, 114.70 on both sides. And for our arrival airport, we're going to be expecting probably an ILS approach, so that's going to be at 109.30. So we're going to set that on both sides as well. For the 80s, from our departure, that's going to be 132.35, so 132. And that's going to be decimal 35. For our 80s at our current location. At our destination, that is going to be at the 127.8 frequency. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and request our clearance from the ATC.
Porto Alegre Airport information, Echo 1000.
Clearance delivery. Chase 1 IFR to Curitiba, ready to copy.
Chase Chase 1 is cleared to Curitiba Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 11 climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Departure frequency is 135.8, squawk 1612.
161. Sorry. 2.
Chase 1 cleared to Curitiba Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 11 climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Departure on 135.8 squawk 1612.
Chase 1 read back correct. Contact ground on 121.9er. Good day.
121.9er. So let's go ahead and set 121.9er on ground frequency. A tower here on 118.1. Okay, that's going to be the tower on this frequency. And she also told us that the departure frequency going to be at 135.8. So 135.8, that's going to be the departure frequency. I'm just going to make sure. Let's see if we're going to have the same frequencies on the Navi graph. You know what? Let's check this out. So, at the airport information, comms. Air traffic control, clearance delivery, approach. I don't see this frequency, but all the other frequencies are correct. Okay, let's get rid of this. So everything is set over here. Let's go ahead and start the APU. And we also can release the fuel truck, so let's go ahead and do so. And we would like to brief our first officer here. So we're going to be departed from the stand pushback. We want pushback. Yes, we would like some pushback here. This is going to be our first flight of the day. There are no threats as now. Thrust will be derated. Blades are going to be on. If you're going to be forced to return, we're currently underway, so that's going to be good. APU is not required. NTS is not required. Procedure will be via SID. So let's run this.
Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, it's going to be a standard pushback and start off the stand. Taxi route will be as assigned by ATC. It'll be a left seat takeoff, using D-rated thrust. Landing a flaps 5 takeoff. Anti-ice will be off. Above 80 knots, we will reject for fire, engine failure, loss of control, or wind shear. The crew member noticing the abnormality will clearly state the problem. I will call reject or continue. If the decision is to reject, I will close the thrust levers and disengage auto throttle, observe or apply maximum braking, raise speed brakes, apply maximum amount of reverse thrust consistent with conditions and bring the aircraft to a complete stop on the runway, stow the speed brake, and set the parking brake, advise the cabin, this is the captain speaking, remain seated, remain seated. I will then perform any necessary memory items or checklists as appropriate. If an evacuation is required, I will initiate the evacuation checklist. In the event of an engine failure after V1, we will continue the takeoff, rotate at VR, call positive rate gear up, and cancel the master caution. There will be no other calls below 400 feet. At 400 feet, I'll call for a roll mode, then call confirm the failure. If required, we'll perform any necessary memory items, climb at V2 to V2 plus 20 to 1000 feet AFL or TOCA, whichever is higher. Retract flaps on schedule. When flaps have been retracted at or above flaps up maneuver speed, call for level change if VNAV is not engaged. Set max continuous thrust, and call for the appropriate emergency checklist. We are under our maximum landing weight, so we are okay to make an immediate return. The departure routing will be via the ATC assigned SID, complying with all published speeds and altitude restrictions. No noise abatement procedures required. LNAV and VNAV are armed. Flight directives are on. Mine is master, yours is slave. Navigation radios are set. The NOTAMs and the aircraft defect log have been reviewed. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
No questions.
Departure brief complete.
Very good. So okay, the catering services are completed. The passengers all boarded up. So let's go ahead and switch over to the APU. We got about 8 minutes before our departure, so let's go ahead and do the pre-flight checklist. Are you ready? Pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%. Tested 100%.
Hi guys, here's the load sheet for you.
Tested 100%. Navigation transfer and display switches. Normal. Auto. Windows heat. On. Pressurization mode selector. Auto. Flight instruments.
Altimeter 1017 set.
Heading 313. Altimeter 1017. Parking brake.
Set.
Engine start levers.
Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist completed.
Thanks. Thanks. Thank you. She kind of glitched out. Alright, never mind. Okay, thanks. Okay, thanks. Okay, never mind. So we're gonna be disregarding. She wants us to say okay, thanks, and then wish us a great flight, but she's stuck. Never mind. Okay, so we have about 6 minutes before our departure. Let's try to expedite that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on
Hey
board
guys,
today.
all packs are on board. Are we clear to
Place your
close?
smaller items under the seat in front of you to provide more room for
Yes.
larger items in our overhead compartments.
Yes.
Assistance, contact the flight attendant.
Thanks. Let me know if you
If
need
you are
anything.
unable to accommodate any item in the cabin, please
Awesome.
the boarding door and we will check it for you. Also, review the safety instruction card in your seat pocket. If you are seated at an exit seat, also review the exit seating criteria.
All right. I'll just see that everything is all set. So 24,000 feet. Landing altitude will be at the 3,000 feet. All the radios are set. And we are ready for our taxi. So let's go ahead and request our taxi from the ground.
Ground Chase 1 with Foxtrot ready to taxi IFR.
Chase 1 taxi 2 and hold short of runway 11 using taxiway. Contact tower on 118.1 when ready. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our flight
Okay.
today.
Taxiing hold short runway 11.
Using taxiway, so that's gonna be, we gotta take in Alpha. Let's use this
There is an instruction card in your
awesome feature that provided by Devigraph lately. So that's gonna be our taxi over here. So pretty short taxi. Let's load up some charts here as well. So we currently at our departure airport.
It is our policy that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated.
Nope,
Doors are clearly marked with
That's
exit signs and instructions for door
that
operation.
one. And let's also pin are SID. So Gabe is going to be departed via Nereti. Nope.
Cabin is pressurized. If there is a loss of cabin pressure, a panel will open and oxygen
Nereti.
Remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and pull a mask towards you.
Yeah, Nereti. That's going to be our departure.
Be flowing to the mask even though the bag may not inflate. Cover your nose and mouth with the mask. Place the elastic band around your
Very
head
good.
and tighten by pulling on the mask. Secure your own mask before assisting others.
Okay, let's request G6 to prepare us for pushback.
Upon exiting the aircraft, place your arms around the cushion and hold on to the straps located on the back.
Before start checklist.
Before start checklist. Flight deck door closed and locked. MCB.
V2 143, heading 109, altitude 7,000.
Set.
Altitude 7,000.
Takeoff speeds.
V1 133, V rotate 135, V2 143.
CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Rudder and aileron trim.
3 and 0.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Anti-collision light on. Before start checklist complete.
Start sequence is 2 then 1. Start sequence is 2 then 1.
Check.
All right, so
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
all right, so why is the tow truck is not connecting just yet?
Departure checks completed. Bypass inserted.
So that's going to be a glitched pushback, probably. Ah, here it goes. Yeah. I think GSX have a way to improve their software somewhere, in some ways. Although it's a pretty cool feature. Sometimes it is crashes you into some buildings, but if you configure it correctly, which I usually don't,
Locking gear.
it's pretty good. Okay, gear is locked. We would like a straight pushback. Straight out.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes. Released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wheel.
Start engine number 2.
Starting engine 2. Oil pressure. Starter cutout. Number 2 stable.
Start engine number 1.
Starting engine 1. Oil pressure.
Please set parking brakes.
And the parking brakes are set.
Waiting your confirmation for your engine start.
Okay.
Starter cutout. Number 1 stable.
Flaps 5.
Cockpit to ground.
Flaps
we have
5.
a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Flaps 5. Sorry. Flaps 5. Flaps 5. Thank you. Sometimes it doesn't get you, but it usually works perfectly good.
Unlocking gear.
Okay, so
Tow track disconnected. Bypass spin removal. Left is clear. Right is clear.
flight control check complete. Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Generators on. Probe heat on. Anti-ice off. Isolation valve auto. Engine start switches continuous. Recall.
Checked. Checked.
Check. Auto brake. RTO. Engine start levers.
Idle detained.
Flight control.
Checked.
Ground equipment.
Clear. Clear.
Clear. Before taxi checklist completed.
Clear left. Clear left.
Clear right.
Thank you. All right, let's start rolling. So we're gonna be releasing the parking brake right now, and we're gonna give it a little push so we can start rolling. Oh, up, not that. Not that quickly. That should be more than enough to start rolling. I think we're stuck.
Flight deck. Okay, thanks. Captain, the cabin is secure.
Yeah. Something is not right. That's right. What the hell is that? Okay, so let's try to use let's set to idle.
Cockpit to ground.
Maybe
Go ahead.
this will release us from this
Push back and start tail straight up.
situation.
Brakes released.
Brakes released. Here we go.
Oh my god. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Okay, I think we should stop here. Okay. And now what? Okay, let's see if we have our controls back. That's weird. Okay, let's see if that's gonna help. Oh, that's better. We started to move something. No? Okay, so that's better now. Oh, we're lucky we work it out. Hope it's not gonna make any issues. For some reason we have an issues with the order here, so let's try to switch to the default profile maybe. No, let me disconnect the pedals and to see if that's gonna help us. So just a moment. Oh, this is the first time I'm encountering something like that, although I had something like this in the in the Comanche, something familiar. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to reconnect the actual okay. Is it done anything? Oh. Okay, now that's better. I hope so. All right. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
Flaps 5, green light. Flaps 5, green light.
Stabilizer trim.
4.8 units.
Before takeoff checklist completed.
Very, very good. Let's look at our takeoff clearance. So go ahead, connect tower.
Tower Chase 1 ready for departure. Runway 11 IFR to Curitiba.
Chase 1, altimeter 30.
Hello, how are you? I'm sorry I didn't saw that message before.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 11.
How was your flight? Right, so we clear to takeoff.
Takeoff runway 11 Chase 1.
Runway entering procedure.
Okay. Cabin crew, take your seats. Clear on the approach. Ready to go.
Okay.
Approaching. 1. On runway 11.
Alright, everything is set.
Roger.
Takeoff.
Thrust set.
Airspeed alive.
80 knots.
Check.
V1 rotate.
B1, rotate.
V2. Positive rate of climb.
Positive rate.
Yep.
Gear up.
Flaps 1.
Speed check.
400 feet.
Chase 1 contact Curitiba Center on 135.8. Good day.
125.
Flaps 1 set.
Flaps up.
Speed check.
135.8 Chase 1. Goodbye.
Flaps up, set.
Curitiba Center, Chase 1 is passing 2,200 feet, climbing 7,000 feet.
Chase 1 Curitiba Curitiba Center altimeter tree 0.0 tree radar. Contact continue to NetP.
After takeoff checklist.
Appears inoperative while malfunctioning reset squawk 1612.
Curitiba Center, Chase 1 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Chase 1 continue to
After takeoff checklist.
following heading 050.
After takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds. On. Packs. Auto. Landing gear. Up and off. Flaps. Up. No lights. After takeoff checklist complete. Happy to release the cabin crew.
Okay.
Okay.
Chase 1, did you hear my last transmission?
Continue to Suksu turning and following heading 050. Resume own navigation, Chase 1.
Chase 1 climb and maintain 15,000 feet.
1,000 to level.
Climb and maintain 15,000 feet, Chase 1.
Chase 1, your transponder appears inoperative while malfunctioning reset squawk 1612.
Okay, so that's 1612. Let me trim this a bit.
Check.
Okay, let's go fix the 16.
Chase 1 IFR flight plan is canceled radar service.
No!
Squawk 7000.
Wait.
Frequency
Wait.
change approved. Good day.
We will try that.
Approach Chase 1 is type Boeing 737 2 miles north of Golf Charlie Victor, 6,800 feet. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
Let's engage the autopilot for a few
Squawk
moments.
1501.
1501.
Squawk 1501,
Autopilot on.
Chase 1.
Okay,
Chase 1
and
radar contact 4 miles north of Golf Charlie Victor.
let's go ahead and try our IFR.
Clear through the Charlie airspace. Maintain on navigation.
Okay, acknowledge that.
Cleared through the Charlie airspace, Chase 1.
Transition set standard.
Standard set. Pass and flight level 069. Now.
Approach Chase 16 miles north of Golf Charlie Victor. Request IFR to Curitiba. Ready to copy.
Chase 1 is cleared to Curitiba Airport as filed. Squawk 1501.
1501.
Check.
Chase 1 cleared to Curitiba Airport as filed. Squawk 1501.
Chase 1 read back correct. Radar contact 7,000 feet. Altimeter tree 0.0 tree. Continue to Suksu turning and following heading 050 resume on navigation climb and maintain 15,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 15,000 feet.
Continue to Suksu turning and following heading
Okay.
050. Resume own navigation climb and maintain 15,000 feet, Chase 1.
Now I would like my controls
Chase 1 contact
Autopilot
Curitiba
off.
Center on 135.8.
back to myself.
1 tree 5.8, Chase 1. Goodbye.
Set flight level 160.
Chase 1 is at 7,100 feet, climbing 15,000 feet.
Chase 1 Curitiba Center.
Set flight level 160.
0.0 tree radar. Contact continue to Nerdy.
Flight level 160. Set.
Let's get us to our cruising altitude. I love those powerful engines. You can blast from out of anywhere with those like jets. When I was flying the aircraft, the 737
Flight
now
level 100.
for
Heavy release
decade now.
cabin.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
electronic devices
this long flight, Wolf, you know,
two-way transmitters, or any other device in the transmit mode.
Uniform Echo, it's Russia, I think, no? It's Moscow. Moscow, yeah. That's a pretty long flight. Have you been supervising the entire flight?
Chase 1 climb and maintain flight level 200.
Climb maintain flight level 200.
Climb and maintain flight level.
Set flight level 200.
Flight level 200 set.
Wow, the Concorde. Well, so it was a pretty short flight for you then. Set flight level 240. Set flight level 240, please.
Stand by.
What are you doing there? You're pressing some buttons, I don't like that. Anyway, let's hand over the controls probably to our autopilot. You know what? Let's continue. Let's reach the cruise cruising altitude. Climb maintain 240, chase 1.
Flight level 240, chase 1.
240. Just that here. Nice. Well, my favorite aircrafts are Boeing, even though they have doors blown out from their fuselage and stuff like that. Anyway, I just love their cockpits. Very hard for me to fly something else. The Max is on its way by the BBJ. They're going to be releasing that. I think they're going to be releasing the Max in about 4 months or so. I'm looking for this. Waiting for this to happen to try the Max. Maybe that's going to be with all the effects all around it. With the blown doors and stuff like that. Should be fun. Guess we have about 3,000 feet to go, and then we will engage the autopilot. So 1,000 to go now. Of course a bit so. The flight director wants us to slow our climb rate, but almost there. And slowly push up the nose. Push the nose a bit down. And let's
Autopilot on.
and hover the controls over to the autopilot. Okay, so VNav is armed. On what network do you fly, Wolf? Okay, and let's see what the first officer did here. Everything looks pretty good. But yes, it's not required for us now. Feel looking good. Everything looks perfectly fine. Even though the cabin announcement didn't go through for some reason. But it's okay. So we're gonna be descending in 138 nautical miles, and that's gonna be at 11:36 Zulu time. So that's gonna be in about 10 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes. We're gonna be starting our descent. So let's start preparing for our descent already, and we're gonna be starting the brief as well. We're gonna be expecting to arrive via ILS approach to runway 15. So the radios are set for that as well. So the forecast. What I said? What network you fly on? Alright, so the forecast is loaded up, and let's go to EFB here. Landing. So we're gonna be landing on runway 15. I'll import details from the aircraft, weather from port weather, calculate. So we're gonna be pretty much eating all the way through the runway. VROF going to be 146 for the VROF, so We're gonna be landing flaps 30 with VIR of 146 minimums. For the minimums, that's gonna be 3,172 feet. Okay, so let's set the minimums as well. 3,172. Yeah, you fly like online on the flight sim. 3,172, and that's going to be a long way up. $1,000 to go. Three, 1, 7, 2, up, almost missed. 1, 7, 2. That's set on both sides because we have the scenic option on. Right, so minimums are set, radios are set. Let's switch to the ILS here. And set course my side 155.
155 set.
Set heading 155.
155 set.
Set course your side 155.
155 set.
Don't lie to me. Set course 155. Your side.
Roger.
Set course your side 155.
155 set.
You know what? Let me help you there. I'll set it for you. Good. Alright, so everything looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and brief you. So we're going to be arriving via vector. Missed approach altitude will be 75,000. Final approach fig, that's going to be 4,600. $46.20 there. Minimums, that's gonna be 3,172 feet. Auto brake will be level 3. Oh, let's run the brief.
Ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
The arrival route will be via ATC vectors. For an ILS approach, planning a flaps 30 landing. Final approach fix altitude is 4,600 feet. Decision altitude is 3,172 feet. Missed approach altitude is 7,500 feet. Taxi route in will be as assigned by ATC. We'll be arriving at gate. Descent speeds and navigation radios are set. Airport NOTAMs have been reviewed. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
No questions.
Approach brief complete.
Alright, so let's set the rec to SBCT here. But ILS approach, we're gonna be expecting an ILS approach Zulu. So that's gonna be loaded up as well. and yeah, right, let's do some circles around our destination airport. So that's gonna be Sierra Bravo Charlie Tango. Let's set here to flight plan. Okay, and let's set the fix here, and we would like 5 nautical miles from it, and I would like 10 nautical miles from it, and I would like 13 nautical miles marker from the airport. So let's see that it's all set and done. Okay, let's zoom in a bit. So as we can see, the circles are ready. We currently flying direct to the destination. We did not been assigned any star. It's not okay, but it is what it is for now. We would like to have the Microsoft Flight Simulator ATC escorting us, and unfortunately you can modify the flight plan en route. You need to actually restart the whole flight. Even an FSX you could do like modify the flight plan. That's a shame. You can try to intercept me, but I don't think I'm on the online. After I installed the, I have installed the FS traffic, I think. I did enable it, and later on I disabled it. It did not go back to the online players option by default. I think I need to set it back to manually. But if you see me, you are more than welcome to intercept me. Okay, so let's fix the map to Curitiba Airport. Curitiba is the city, actually, okay. So we're gonna be requested probably the Microsoft ATC will not give us a clearance to descent immediately. We're gonna be requesting a descent on our own, and I see that we have a descent at 11:40 Zulu. That's gonna about 15 minutes. I think we can get there faster, so let's do 7.00. Hit execute. Let's speed up just a bit so we can arrive a bit faster to our destination. Let's do 1.8. Hit execute. And we're gonna monitor the bubble line here, so we're not gonna be over speeding too much, but we're gonna be getting to our destination way faster than we supposed to. For some reason the SimBrief haven't given us a star. Usually it is generated automatically, but I should have paid attention to it. We're currently arriving at OpTB. I'll check that we have the exact fuel that we should have. So OpTB, we should have in total about 8.3, and we have an 8.3 tons of fuel. So as you can see, 8.3 OpTB. So we don't have any fuel leaks or something like that. Something that we should be worried about. I think that we have the failure option enabled, right? So let's see that. Let's make sure that it is. Aircraft options, simulations, power minimum select, manual override, no. Nope. Yes, but I think it's not the performance. No. Probably aircraft failures. Where you can see these options are the public options, simulation, parking brakes is realistic. So here we have those failures, but options, performance, nope, that's not gonna be. It's supposed to be probably here. Service based on failures. Well, it's not, obviously it's not here. No, I forgot where this option is. Displays, failures, equipment. I would like this to be installed. Auto ignition, no. Window shades, nope. Ah, here it is. So it was one enabled. What a blind then. Okay, so we're going to be descending about 35 nautical miles from now, so we should be starting to let's do the descent checklist.
Roger. Descent checklist. Pressurization. Landing altitude is 3000 feet. Recall. Check. Auto brake. Level 3. Landing data.
VRAF 146, minimums 3172 feet.
VRAF 146, minimums 3172 feet. 606 set. Approach briefing.
Completed.
Descent checklist completed.
Set flight level 140. Set flight level 140.
Flight level 940 set.
Set flight level 140.
Flight level 140 set.
Thanks. And we're gonna be requesting descent by 10,000 from the ATC any moment now. Curitiba Tower is on 11 point. Curitiba approach is on 119.7. I'm gonna set it to be ready for the tower because we don't know what frequency. Huh? All right.
Descend and maintain 15,000 feet, chase 1.
That's surprising. Execute. Drag is required. Okay. Let's give the aircraft some drag. And it was pretty surprising that she actually requested us to start our descent. Usually they request the descent too late, but not this time. Okay, so we started our descent. ILS frequency is set. Final course is set. Let's check over to the 80s.
Curitiba Airport information, Whiskey 1100 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 6. Sky condition 1,900 feet. Scattered few clouds at 5,000 feet. Temperature 16. Dew point 10. Altimeter 30.16. ILS Whiskey runway tree in use. Landing and departing runway 15. DFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back all short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Whiskey. Curitiba Airport information, Whiskey 1100 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 6. Sky condition 1,900 feet. Scattered few clouds at 5,000 feet. Temperature 16. Dew point 10. Altimeter 30.16. ILS Whiskey runway tree in use. Landing and departing runway 15. DFR aircraft say direction of flight.
Okay, so we got the 80s. So we expected to arrive to around 15, and we're gonna be probably gonna be expected to arrive here, and we're probably gonna be eating all the way to Foxtrot because our weights are pretty fat for this runway, so yeah. But there's also another option that she will request us to land on runway 33, so we're gonna be keeping that in mind as well. All right.
Clear to Charlie Tango Bravo 159er.
133. Via Yankee. Let's quickly switch to the approach she was giving us. So approach VRDME Yankee.
Chase 1 contact approach on 119.7. Good day.
Going to 119.7 Chase 1. Approach Chase 1 is passing 13,100 feet, descending 7,000 feet.
Chase 1 approach altimeter 30.153.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
Contact continue to Alden.
Set course my side 355.
355 set.
Set course your side 355.
355 set.
Set heading 355.
355 set.
Chase 1, please expedite your descent 7,000 feet. Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their upright position. Make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened and all carry-on luggage is stowed underneath the seat in front of you or to overhead bin. Please turn off all electronic devices until we are safely parked at the gate. Thank you.
10,000.
Transition set standard.
Stand by.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be arriving at our destination shortly. If you are making
1021 set, passing 8,400. Now. Flight deck. Okay, thanks. Captain, the cabin is secure.
Descend and maintain
feeling that we're not gonna make it the approach, but okay. Approach checklist.
Approach checklist. Altimeters.
10 to 1 set.
Cabin crew, take your seats. 0 to 1 set.
Flaps 1. Flaps 1. Flaps 1. To land. Flaps 5. Cancel the checklist. Cancel checklist.
Roger.
Flaps 15. Flaps 15.
Speed check. Speed brake up.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Now we're going missed here, so
Flaps 15 set.
going around.
Check.
Flaps 5.
Speed check. Autopilot off. Flaps 5 set.
Flaps 1. Gear up.
Gear up.
Flaps up.
Speed check. Flaps up.
Set Mr. Poch altitude.
7,500 set.
Altimeter setting.
Autopilot on.
Select VNAV.
VNAV.
Select LNAV.
LNAV.
Curitiba Tower, Chase 1 is going missed.
Chase 1 contact approach on 119.7. Good day.
119.7 for Chase 1.
119.7 Chase 1. Goodbye. Approach Chase 1 is missed approach at Curitiba.
Chase 1, you are 6 miles northwest. Descend and maintain 7,000 feet. Expect VOR DME Yankee runway tree approach via Charlie Tango. Bravo 159 radio 12 DME on. Clear to Charlie Tango Bravo.
Descend and maintain 7,000 feet. Expect VOR DME Yankee runway tree approach via Charlie Tango, Bravo 159er radial 12 DME are clear to Charlie Tango, Bravo Chase 1.
Approach checklist.
Approach checklist. Altimeters.
1022 set.
Check.
1022 set.
1022 set. Approach checklist completed.
Flaps 1. Flaps 1.
Speed check. Flaps 1 set.
Set Mr. Approach altitude.
7,500 set.
Flaps 5.
Speed check. Flaps 5 set. Autopilot off.
Descend and maintain 5,500 feet, chase 1.
Gear down. Gear down.
Gear down.
Flaps 15.
Speed check.
Chase 1, you are 12 miles southeast of Curitiba. Contact Curitiba Tower on 118.15 when inbound.
Flaps 15
Tower
set.
118.15, chase 1. Curitiba Tower.
Flaps 30.
1 miles southeast inbound.
Speed check.
Yankee runway tree approach.
Chase 1, Curitiba Tower. Altimeter tree 0.17 with
Flaps 30 set.
Clear VOR DME Yankee runway tree approach.
Clear VOR DME Yankee runway tree approach, chase 1.
Final approach fix. Height checked. Missed approach altitude is set.
Clear to land runway tree. Curitiba Airport information, Whiskey.
Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Engine start switches.
Visibility.
Continuous.
Clear to land runway tree.
Continuous.
Speed brake.
Armed. Armed.
Landing gear.
Down. Down.
Flaps.
Flap 30 clear light.
Landing checklist completed. 1,000 feet. Stable. 200 feet. Approaching minimums.
Continue.
Minimums.
Tank rate. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Speed brake up. Throttle brake disarmed. Reversers normal. 60 knots.
Well, I told you that it's gonna revenge us the... Okay, to clean up.
Roger.
That the rudder gonna get us back. Yeah. Whew. That was quite a ride.
APU on the buses.
To the gate.
Gate 1 taxi to Gate 1 using taxiway cross runway 29er Alpha Bravo Golf.
Taxiing to gate 1 using taxiway cross runway 29er Alpha Bravo Golf Chase 1.
Approaching. 1.
Okay, so we would like GSX to wait for us at the gate. So there's gonna be Alpha Bravo Golf, Gate 1. Okay, Alpha Bravo Golf, Gate 1. No, we will not need a follow me car. Alpha and Bravo up ahead. So even though the landing rate was good, but I think the landing itself was not quite that stable, but to see how to reconfigure my pedals for some reason, they are too sensitive sometimes. Right, so let's go ahead and reset the tablets. Lights and doors.
Check. Cabin crew disarm doors and cross-check.
Alright, so parking brakes are set. Flight directors are off. Engine start switches are off. Very good. Let's focus the jet to connect the jetway. So one moment here.
Locking gear.
What? No, no.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
No, we don't need the pushback. About pushback, leave us alone. We have just arrived. Operate gateways. Yes, this one. Let's release the parking brake. Shutdown checklist.
Flight level 748 set. Shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps off. Pro heat off. Hydraulic panel, set, flaps.
Up,
Check.
up,
Parking brake.
released,
Engine start levers.
cut off,
Weather radar.
off,
Off. Shutdown checklist completed.
secure the aircraft, secure the aircraft. Request deboarding. Alright. Deboarding as requested. Aircraft is secured. Secure checklist.
Secure checklist. IRS off. Emergency exit lights off. Window heat off. Packs off. Secure checklist complete.
Very good. Let's shut off the APU. Okay, let's shut off the radios as well. Let's go ahead and turn her off. So ground power is going off. Emergency lights are off, and the battery is going off as well. And the all aircraft is shut. Okay, let's display the landing rate monitor just again before we're going to be ending the stream. Alright, so that's it for our flight. Thank you very much for joining in. I much appreciate if you could like and subscribe to my channel. If you like my libraries, you are more than welcome to download them from the link in the description below. We are flying usually every Sunday at 3 p.m. Zulu time with the Boeing 737-800 BBJ2. So feel free to join us on Twitch and YouTube as well. And I hope to see you on the next stream.